What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports to help give you the edge for this NBA 9-game slate. Cannot wait to break it down. This video is officially sponsored by Jock Market. If you guys want to be entered into the $25 giveaway that we do every single Friday on stream, please like, subscribe, and also comment your favorite GPP play for this slate. If you guys are brand new to this channel, we provide both free and paid content for all daily fantasy sports across all sports. If you could please show your support by hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course smashing that like button for all of our future NBA content. If you would like to know more about becoming a better DFS player and taking down that big GPP, head over to www.patreon.com/DGFantasy for more information. On Patreon, we give advanced cheat sheets for all DFS sports on DraftKings. These cheat sheets include updated projections, ownership, and our overall favorite plays from slate to slate. We take it a step further by teaching you how to play fantasy sports like a shark, by showing you where the best leverage spots are to put you in the best spots to take down tourneys. Also included is our private Discord chat where you get to talk over the slate with everyone, including our coaches, to help build your lineups. Now let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 9-game slate, but now you guys know we have to go over some Patreon success. So we're going to look at a $5,000 winner yesterday on our CSGO leverage sheet here. Fantastic win. This guy does take down some GPPs in CSGO. All about lineup construction over there. Definitely utilize our CSGO leverage sheets to your advantage. We also had a first place finish, $8 into 120 yesterday in LPL, which is also esports. And then we also had some super draft success, $15 and a 60 over here, and then we had almost a near takedown on FanDuel with NBA here, $150. One of our coaches, Elite, is always killing it over there on NBA. So now let's go ahead and go over the injury report for this current slate, guys. We have quite a bit of injury news, or quite a bit of pending injury news, so bear with me here. With Atlanta, we have Bogdanovich done and Hunter out. Rondo is pending injury news. With Cleveland, we have Prince, Dellavedova, Drummond, Love, and Nance all out for these guys. For Detroit, we have Griffin, Hayes, Okafor, and Wright. With Orlando, we have Cole Anthony and Aaron Gordon still out for these guys. Boston, same injuries still here for them. Langford and Smart still out. With Dallas, we have Kleber out. That does impact some minutes here with some big men. And then Porzingis is questionable. If he is ruled out, it's definitely going to impact that picture. And then with Sacramento, we have Glenn Robinson out indefinitely. With Brooklyn, we have just Kevin Durant out. Jeff Green is questionable. If he is held out, that's definitely going to shake up the picture even more so with Brooklyn. With Golden State, Looney and Wiseman are slated to show up tonight. They are technically questionable, but if they do play, that definitely keeps me off of the Golden State Warriors. With New York, we still have Mitchell Robinson out. With Philly, nothing really going on there. With Toronto, we have Kyle Lowry still questionable. Minnesota, Culver and Russell are still out. With Milwaukee, Drew Holiday is still out. With Portland, we have the same injuries here. Zach Collins, McCollum, and Nurkic all out for these guys. Denver has quite a bit of some injury news here. Dozier, Green, Harris, Millsap, and Whittington still out. And then with Washington, last but not least, we have Smith out for Washington. And then the Clippers have nothing really going on there, but that is a high-paced game over there. Now let's go ahead and start with the very first game here with Atlanta. Nothing really too much that pops out. We have Kevin Huerter here at $5,000. Definitely an intriguing play. 5.8 point per dollar value. Clint Capella does get a usage boost as well. A 5.5 point per dollar value. His price tag did come down to a 7.9K price tag. But other than those guys, really no interest here. I guess you could throw in Trae Young just because he's always in the GPP mix. But a 9.7K price tag is a bit too expensive for me. These guys are just going to be GPP targets here going against Cleveland. On the Cleveland side, though, there's a lot of interesting value. We have Darius Garland at $6,100 projected in 36 minutes. A 5.7 point per dollar value. Does get a nice little usage boost with these guys off the floor. Talking about Prince, Drummond, Love, and Nance. A lot of value to go around here. We have JaVale McGee here at 15 minutes at a 3.5K price tag. Averages 1.31 fantasy points per minute, and I definitely do like him here, even if he's only projected at 15 minutes. Definitely a nice value play and more of a GPP option here. A 5.6 point per dollar value. Jarrett Allen in a nice spot, has been playing very, very well. Had a fantastic game last game. 56.25 points projected in 33 minutes. 5.4 point per dollar value. And also Seti Osman at 5.6K comes out to a 5.3 point per dollar value as well. And I definitely like the way these guys have been playing. So Cleveland in a pace-up spot, definitely don't mind them if you land on them in cash. I'd say my favorite options are going to be Darius Garland and also Jarrett Allen, with McGee being my favorite GPP option. Going down the list here, we have Detroit benefiting without injuries as well. Josh Jackson averaging a crazy 1.28 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court. A 5.8K price tag comes out to a 5.7 point per dollar value. He's only projected 27 minutes. But like I said, Josh Jackson has been playing very, very well with the minutes that are given to him. Also, what's going on with the picture here, the point guard picture with Detroit? Saben Lee and also Dennis Smith Jr. Don't know what to expect with these two. Saben Lee actually played very, very well once he was given minutes last game. Played 33 minutes. If he does start this game, absolutely love him for a value play. 3.2K price tag. Definitely outshined Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. was definitely chalk last game and turned out to be bad chalk, which we all expected. But Saben Lee, if he does start, even if he doesn't start, a 3.2K price tag, definitely going to jump on board there. A 5.7 point per dollar value. And then Dennis Smith, if he does start, going back to the well with him, don't mind him as well. But my favorite two options are going to be Josh Jackson and Saben Lee here from Detroit. Going down the list here with Orlando, just GPP options for me. Vucevic at a 10.2K price tag definitely does have a good matchup, does get a slight usage boost, but that price tag is very, very expensive, coming out to a 5.4 point per dollar value. Evan Fournier is averaging 1.18 fantasy points per minute with these current guys off the court. Don't mind him, has been absolutely killing it. A 6.8K price tag, but just GPP options for me going against Detroit. The lowest over-under on the entire slate. And then the next game is going to be the fireworks game, and crazy over under here. Right now it's at a 242. I expect that to actually be more as the day does go along. By far the greatest over-under on the entire slate. So you can really take any options from this game. I will start out by saying that anybody with minutes. De'Aaron Fox, $8,000, 35 minutes, a 5.6 point per dollar value is actually going to be one of my favorite options here from this game. I love him here going against the Brooklyn Nets. Neither one of these teams play defense. Buddy Hield, 6.3K. We love shooters in these types of contests. I don't recommend him in cash, but I think he's a great GPP option at 34 minutes, a 5.5 point per dollar value. Then Halliburton has been absolutely crushing it. A 6.5K price tag, a 5.1 point per dollar value. So Halliburton, Fox, Hield, lock and load these guys because these guys are going to be very good plays for both cash and GPPs with very high upside. With the minutes down low, though, Bagley, Whiteside, we don't really know who's going to start between those two. Right now, we're expecting it's going to be Rashawn Holmes, and then Bagley's going to get the secondary run at 24 minutes, or 27 minutes, rather, and Whiteside's going to play his normal 14 minutes. So, right now, I'm just going to be looking at Rashawn Holmes at $5,600. I do like him as well, but again, coming back from injury, we don't know what's really going on. We're going to have to see a little bit closer to luck on our live stream. Going over to the Brooklyn side, I actually like the Brooklyn side a little bit more just because the price tags are more intriguing. Kyrie Irving at 8.8K definitely passes the eye test. He should be up in that 9K range without Kevin Durant on the floor. I love him. I love James Harden. It's going to be between the two of them. One of these two guys should make the optimal. They both benefit usage-wise. James Harden is averaging 1.51 fantasy points per minute with Kevin Durant off the floor. And then Kyrie Irving is averaging 1.39 fantasy points per minute with Kevin Durant off the floor. So pick and choose one of these two guys. You can play both of them in cash. I don't mind that. With this high over-under, these guys should both hit value, and one of them should have a ceiling game. DeAndre Jordan, another good play, $5,500 in a good matchup, 26 minutes. Jeff Green, if he does play, I actually do like him for value. If he is held out, that's going to shake up some things here. For the big guys, TLC should become an intriguing option for cash. That's if Jeff Green does miss, but right now these guys are just going to be GPP plays outside of Kyrie Irving, Harden, and DeAndre Jordan. If Jeff Green does play, you can also consider him cash viable as well. Going down the list here, Golden State Warriors, not too much interest here whatsoever. Pace down spot for them against the Knicks with the two big guys coming back with Looney and Wiseman. Just no interest here outside of bigger GPPs. Going over to the Knicks, I do have some interest here in Nerlens Noel and Julius Randle with a good matchup. $4,900 for Nerlens Noel projected in 30 minutes. Julius Randle, we know his upside in GPPs in a pace-up spot. Don't mind him projected in 37 minutes, but outside of those two guys, really no interest here from the Knicks. And now we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Jock Market is one of the most innovative ways to play daily fantasy sports today. Just like the real stock market, Jock Market allows you to buy and sell players to earn profit based on their performances throughout the day and night. They are currently offering a variety of sports where you can enter their markets and buy them for potential gains. Unlike normal other DFS sites, once the slate starts, you can make numerous changes to your stocks by buying new players you think will continue to perform well or sell players you think are going to underperform.
Right now, they are running every sport with overlay, which gives you an easier chance to win than other major DFS platforms. Download Jock Market now on the App Store and use code DGF to receive a $20 deposit bonus. Be sure to subscribe here for all future Jock Market content. And now let's go on to the next matchup here between Philly and Toronto. Nothing really going on the Philly side. No injury news to impact these guys. These guys are going to be all GPP plays for me in a bad matchup here versus Toronto. A 224.5, so definitely not that high of an over or under as well. Looking over at the Toronto side, if Kyle Lowry is held out, yes, then Siakam and VanVleet also get a boost from that usage. But right now the price tags are a little too high if Kyle Lowry does play. If he does play and does start and plays full allotted minutes, 7.1K is actually very intriguing. You only have to hit 36 points to cover that price tag, so don't mind him. A 5.5 point per dollar value. And Aaron Baines at 21 minutes, if you want to consider him for GPPs at $3,200, don't mind him for a value punt play in GPPs. Going over to the Boston Celtics versus Dallas, these guys are benefiting without Langford and Smart still. Looking at the value board here, Tristan Thompson does catch my eye at 4.4K, 26 minutes. Don't mind him for value for just GPPs. Kemba Walker, 6.4K, 32 minutes, a 5.5 point per dollar value. Don't mind him given the usage bump. And then same thing with Jason Tatum. 8.9K is just a very, very low price tag. We're going to see a bunch of superstars going at it here with Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum, so I don't mind him at 36 minutes after his game winner. The hype is on for Jason Tatum, averaging 1.32 fantasy points per minute, a 5.4 point per dollar value. And then Jaylen Brown, just GPPs for me. That price tag is a little too expensive for me, a 5 point per dollar value. Switching over to the other side, Kleber is expected to be out, so that's going to give a slight bump to guys like Finney Smith, Cauley Stein, and also down low with, where's the last guy? Dwight Powell. Dwight Powell did start last night, did play 28 minutes, loved him for value in our Discord. So I love him again if Kleber is out and Powell does start. But outside of those very cheap options, Willie Cauley-Stein and also Dwight Powell, really no interest here. It's going to be a bad matchup here versus a very good defensive team here in Boston. Going over to the Minnesota-Milwaukee game, the big question is this game going to stay close? Because if it is, I love this game. I think it's a great game to target on the Milwaukee side. On the Minnesota side, really no interest here outside of Anthony Edwards at a 5.8K price tag. Does get a usage boost with Culver and Russell off the floor. Right now, we have him projected at 31.02 fantasy points and a 5.3 point per dollar value. And then McDaniels also isn't that bad of a value play, just in GPPs. We have him projected here at a 5.2 point per dollar value. Going over to the Milwaukee side, have a lot more interest here. Giannis, I have to be very weary about his ownership because if he is going to be low owned, I absolutely love him for GPPs. If this game does stay close, they're projected to score 121 points, which is one of the highest on the slate. Giannis should absolutely feast tonight in this matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is going to be higher owned, so he could be cash viable, could not. It's going to be dependent on whether these guys are going to stay close and what the public does think about this matchup. So, love Giannis in this matchup altogether. Brook Lopez, a 5.5 point per dollar value, a 4.4K price tag. Don't mind him, he always pops on our sheet. And then obviously Chris Middleton, what he did last game, a phenomenal matchup versus Sacramento. Should have a similar type of matchup here. 8.4K price tag, but just GPPs for me here with Chris Middleton. Going down the list here, we have Portland versus Denver. Really no interest on this side of the ball outside of maybe Damian Lillard. A 10.4K price tag did come down in price tag, but not that great of a matchup here versus Denver. All GPP options here for the Portland side of the ball. I love the Denver side, though. I think there's a lot of upside. I love Jamal Murray in GPPs. 8.5K price tag. Definitely doesn't look on the surface like that is a very intriguing price tag, but the average is 1.4 fantasy points per minute with these current guys off of the court here with the current injuries. So I have him projected here at 50.4 fantasy points in a pace-up spot versus Portland, a 5.9 point per dollar value. And then going down the list here, Barton, not that bad of a price tag at a 5.3K price tag. Michael Porter Jr., more GBP for me. And then Jokic at a 10.8K price tag has an absolutely crazy matchup, crazy good matchup against Canner. So I do think Jamal Murray and both are either Jamal Murray or Jokic are going to break the slate tonight. I absolutely love them here in this pace-up spot versus the Portland Trailblazers. Last but not least, it's going to be the Washington Wizards versus the Clippers. Washington side, really no interest here. Bradley Beal did come down in price tag. I like him here in a good competitive matchup. And then also taking stabs at a couple of these value guys like Avdija at 22 minutes. Don't mind him. And also Russell Westbrook at 9.8K did get that price decrease. So don't mind him for GPPs. This game will definitely get overlooked in terms of ownership. Right now it's a 10-point spread, so this does have some blowout potential as well. Then last but not least, the Clippers. Like I said, this game will get overlooked. Right now they're projected to put up 123 points on the Washington Wizards. So that gives a slight bump to Kawhi Leonard at 9.4K. Did get the price decrease. Don't really get his price tag. Absolutely love him for GPPs. And also same thing with Paul George at 9.1K. But if there's one guy I'm going to be preferring from this matchup, it's going to be Kawhi Leonard. Should absolutely feast tonight. 35 projected minutes. And that will wrap up my breakdown, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this breakdown. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.